welcome to Mangatory96, and today we're going to talk about is it wrong to try to pick up girls in a dungeon. Today's topic is the woman who managed to capture the heart of our white-headed protagonist with her saving his life in the last second, where her beauty and power managed to do something that many other women wish they could do, and that's to make him look her way. I'm of course talking about Ais Wallenstein. But before we start, here's the spoiler warning, as I'll be spoiling a lot of things in this video, so if you don't want to be spoiled, I would highly recommend that you're going to read the light novel, as it is an enjoyable read. For everyone else, let's start with who Ais is. Ais Wallenstein is a first-class adventurer and an executive of the Loki Familia. Among the small fraction of first-class adventurers, she is considered one of the strongest. Ais is mostly a quiet person who has trouble expressing her feelings through words. Because of this, she is thought to be mysterious, where she is actually mentally young, even visualizing a younger version of herself in certain situations, such as when she gave Belle a lap pillow. Unlike her fellow Loki Familia member Bete, Ais didn't look down on the weak despite being a first-class adventurer. She is also believed to be an airhead, namely due to her quiet nature. She is very strong-willed, doing everything to reach her goal to become even stronger, even offering to train Belle just so she could try to determine the key to his quick growth. She also tends to react violently whenever someone does anything remotely perverted to her, such as Loki. Ais exhibits a strong interest in Belle, mainly because of his rabbit-like appearance, where she helps him whenever she can, such as when she immediately moved to rescue him when she heard that he was being attacked by a Minotaur. During the time she trained Belle, Tiona pointed out that she seemed happy, an emotion she had never seen her show before. She interacts with Belle very favorably, such as taking care of Belle on the 18th floor and accepting his request to dance at a ball held by Apollo, even though it was her first time. She is also unable to swim, as when she was 7 years old, Rivera punished Ais for calling her an old woman by tying adamantium to her and throwing her into the water, calling it swimming training. This later became a traumatic experience for her, making her avoid water in general while in the dungeon, and if she has to bathe, she tries to stay in areas where her feet reach the bottom. Since she has dedicated her life solely to getting stronger, Ais doesn't understand many things and lacks common sense when it comes to certain topics. At the same time, this has made her quite gullible, a quality that Loki sometimes takes advantage of. She has believed various lies from her goddesses, such as that mentioning the name of the technique makes it more powerful, as well as that the increasingly revealing clothes Loki gave her as she grew older were actually combat clothes. Ais's goal is to become strong enough to defeat the one-eyed black dragon and take back her mother. Because her goal is revenge-driven, and for her own sake, she considers herself unable to become a hero. Her desire for revenge stems from her traumatic experience with the one-eyed black dragon when she was a child, which also caused her to develop a great hatred towards monsters. Such a feeling has resulted in Ais developing an intense obsession with exterminating monsters to the borders of the irrational, as noted by many. Due to her deep resentment when she was younger, she showed a serious expression and was extremely violent. She tended to be aggressive with others and disrespect her superiors. She didn't care about her condition or her health at all and could fight relentlessly if she was left unsupervised. Ais was only concerned with physical strength herself and downplayed everything that had nothing to do with it, considering any other type of teaching useless. Where, over time, she began to change her beliefs. From Finn, she learned that not only physical prowess was important, but also mental strength and technique in combat, motivating her to study under Rivera's tutelage and practice to polish her techniques with him and Garrett. For his part, Garrett taught her that in addition to training, one should rest properly. Thanks to the support of the three leaders, Ais eventually managed to reduce her self-destructive tendencies. While she denotes a surprising improvement over her younger demeanor, this does not mean that she has abandoned said traits entirely. Mitigated and numbed thanks to the environment she grew up and the bonds she forged, her hatred nonetheless remains as intense as in her childhood. She doesn't usually show it openly, but you can glimpse whenever the one-eyed black dragon is mentioned. Likewise, she often allows herself to be consumed by it when using her Avenger skill, moments in which her judgment ends up clouded and she reverts to her previous self who only sought to exterminate monsters without worrying about nothing more. Also, her hunger for power is severely intensified as she feels that she has hit a limit or is handicapped by a lack of power. Back in her times as a level 1, despite the positive changes in her attitude, she began to show frustration once her stats growth slowed. Upon discovering that to level up she had to complete a feat, she launched herself to the 12th floor to face infinite dragons despite how dangerous they were, and aggressively exploded against Rivera for having hidden how to level up from her. After her duel with Revis, her feelings of helplessness from losing against the mysterious woman due to her lack of power, in combination with having reached her limit as level 5, reached a critical point. Prompted by it, she made up her mind to face Udaos, a monster which was not only a floor boss but whose level was also higher than hers. Even being in severe state, she refused to receive assistance from Rivera, determined to defeat it as to overcome her weaknesses. Her past is a sensitive subject for her and she is very secretive about it. Although she trusts her friends and fellow Familia members, she has refused to reveal anything related to it to them, having opened up exclusively to Loki and the top executives of the Loki Familia. Likewise, confronting Revis, who seemed to know about her past and overwhelmingly losing Ais, was severely affected and refused to talk about it with anyone, not even Riviera. During the Xenos incident, Ais experienced certain changes in regards to her thoughts about monsters. Initially, even after discovering that Xenos could feel just like people, she clung to her beliefs that monsters refused to accept that monsters should not be exterminated. However, after seeing Venus' actions to protecting Belle and hearing her story, she was seriously affected and started to believe that Xenos could truly deserve to live. Likewise, her resolve began to waver, unable to decide if monsters were truly an evil that deserved to be destroyed. After her training with Otter, she came to the conclusion that there were monsters that could have emotions and a heart equal to that of a person, in the same way there could be a people who had the heart of a monster, and it will be she herself who will decide who was a monster and against whom to use her power. As for her past, Ais entered the Loki Familia at the age of 7. As a new member, she acted as a support of others' adventure while training as hard as she could. She reached level 2 within a year, becoming the fastest person to reach level 2 at a time until Belle broke that record. She then continued to maintain her rapid growth rate, leveling up to level 4 at a rate of 1 to 1.5 years each level and reaching level 5 in 3 years. She has also fought against Frini Chamel on 3 occasions, once when she was level 2 and second time when encountering each other in the dungeon 2 years after the first meeting and the third time when Ais reached level 5. As for her abilities, Ais has been recognized as a mighty fighter, considered one of the strongest first-class adventurers whose prowess even Otter has acknowledged. However, he also noted that she isn't as skilled against other people as she is against monsters. This was also remarked by the author, who clarifies that Ais is not very good against other people and specializes in fighting monsters due to her skill. Nevertheless, she will still be able to hold the edge against skilled fighters like her fellow Loki Familia young executives. In a pure duel, she is probably stronger than a beastified Bete using Hati. Having trained since joining the Loki Familia, Ais is a skilled swordsman and is usually recognized as the most powerful in the city. Her ability stems from her constant training by herself and the one provided by Finn and Garrett when she was a new member of the Familia. Even back then, her techniques sometimes surprised them, which was the result of her father's teachings and she remembered and practiced. While her skill with her sword is amazing, her fighting style is extremely brutal and aggressive, which is why few weapons are capable of withstanding it. On the other hand, her reliance on her sword for fighting has caused her to lack prowess in hand-to-hand combat. Upon making her loss desperate, Ravius noted that her attack paralleled greatly in comparison to her swordsmanship. In spite of her ability, Otter pointed out that she is not very skilled against other people. Instead, he stated that her technique specializes in killing monsters, surpassing even him, Finn and the others in that regard. Additionally, despite her habit of fighting on her own, Ais has been shown to be able to fight efficiently alongside the other members of her Familia, able to quickly coordinate with Tiona and perform a synchronous attack against Bache. As for her relationship with Belle, Ais has a deep, growing interest in Belle's growth. She also likes giving Belle a lap pillow from time to time, ever since she gave him her first one after finding him collapsed in the dungeon due to a meat down, and also every time he passed out during the first training, even knocking him out explicitly to give him lap pillows. She has a friendly and positive relationship with him, frequently helping him, even accepting a request for a dance from him at Opal's ball, even though it was her first time dancing. She cares for Bell enough to help him in various situations, even going as far as to fight Otter to reach him when he was fighting the Minotaur. Bell brought several changes in Ais emotionally, which confused Ais herself, making her question her own decisions. Some of her family's executives, such as Rivera, Finn, and even Tiona, have noticed those changes, with the former two hoping for betterment in Ais, leading them to turn a blind eye to Bell and Ais' secret meetings and training sessions. In the beginning, she expressed some concern about Bell's desire to become an adventurer due to her belief that being an adventurer meant having some kind of darkness which Bell lacked, fearing that he will end up losing his purity. She also shown jealousy in matter regarding Bell, such as when she thought that Bell looked up to Bette, so she didn't tell Bette where Bell was, or when various females came to meet him while Ais watched, giving her the feeling of her pet being taken from her. During the Xenos arc, Ais and Bell fought when he tried to protect Vina from her. Despite this, they were able to make up after it. Although it is unclear Ais' behavior around Bell and her deep concern for him implies that she may be slowly developing romantic feelings towards him. In their first encounter, she saw her past self in him and was reminded about her feelings towards her gone parents, which she thanked him for it. In a sign that Ais' emotions for Bell may be extremely strong, Ais remembered her training and lap pillows with Bell despite being under charm from Freya. With this, I covered everything that I wanted to cover on Ais. And that'll be all for this video. If you like this video, leave a like, leave your thoughts in the comments below, or subscribe to the channel for more manga reviews and One Piece content. And until next time, take care.